dealing with royalty. Give me a descendant of the sun gods or a bureaucrat any day. Well, to Tonga, the jewel of the Pacific, to the beautiful women, the peerless island hospitality, and the wise and just Chief Harrow.
The same chief you once called the scourge of the South Seas, with less intelligence than a sack of coconuts?
Well, that was last year. Don't we have another one of these?
Right next to the kerosene. Don't confuse the two.
Nice jacket. I used to have one just like it.
So you plan to just dump her ashore? She must have had a reason for stowing away.
Well, she didn't share it with me. Did she tell you her name? How she got on board?
I'm not even sure she can speak. I've tried every dialect I know.
Madamua, como que toma que moan. Ko ta haina ko ni ko ta hura, o ka ke no foi fon wan. Ka wi lo ya ta ko na fufui, ko wang e kamade.
Does this mean he's happy to see us?
Ki hanga be ko whakamai ko mo family. Ko ta fia mari ke tu fat. O kai ko me ya au, ko me ya aku ko whakakau.
Her name is Tahura. The chief says she has shamed herself and disgraced her family.
Well, what does she do?
I refused to marry a man I did not love.
She speaks English.
Island custom allows Chief Harrow to betroth me to a neighboring chief, but Fatu is old, and I feel nothing.
Time for us to go.
What? No stomach for family squabbles?
Ngahi ko te ki talavo. Ko muta tau to femo ta masi asereria. Hanga kovi.
The chief says one so beautiful should not be so impudent. But he reckons you've been impudent as well.
Me?
Griff? Sack of coconuts.
I didn't translate that for him.
Dora, ko blava ave ko ke no for ya Griff. Ko ia pe o sai my business.
The chief has decided you can keep Tahura, a gift for the success of our trade deal.
Me? I can't take it. What would I do with her? Tell the chief his offer is more than generous, but it's out of the question.
Oku o tua, hoa ofaka oku ikai teo talia.
I'll tell the chief I wouldn't dream of taking such a fair and virtuous woman away from her people.
He ikai teo lava ke to'o ai fifine. Hoi hoi fua mai hono kakai.
Any suggestions?
You got me.
Tahura, I look at Triff. Or no great deal.
Either Tahura comes with us, or we lose the trade deal.
Great. She had to pick our ship to run away on. Couldn't she have stolen an outrigger?
Why are you so upset? She doesn't have to marry the old chief. We get the trade deal. And you get a gorgeous woman.
Me? You and I are partners.
Chief Haro didn't give Tahura to me. And besides, I have a wife.
Why didn't you say why you'd stowed away before you went back to Tonga?
I was ashamed. I'd dishonored my brother and father. I hoped Chief Haro would forgive me if the white man was present.
What do you expect to do now?
Chief Haro said I belong to you now. I'll do whatever you wish.
Where did you learn your English?
In the school, Chief Haro allowed the missionaries to build.
And did he teach you to disobey your chief?
I was raised to be obedient to my father and to my chief. But I will never marry a man I don't love. Have you never defied what was expected of you?
Not a word.
Excuse me, Reverend. I'm Claire Devon. I came in on the Chesterfield from England.
Yes, of course.
If I'm bothering you, I can come back later.
No, not at all. You're an answer to my prayers. I need another pair of hands. Would you mind?
I found that man I was looking for. He isn't quite what I expected.
Cannibal Jack. Yes, I've heard.
I thought I was crossing the world for a soulmate. But the man in my letters was full of romance, not rum.
Has Jack been unkind to you?
Oh, no.
Do you want to go back to England?
I couldn't bear to give up that quickly. Took me so long to get here.
Then give it a chance. This place is paradise. Maybe some magic will happen. Maybe the man who wrote those letters just needs help stepping off the page.
It's fishing.
I am so glad you're back. This morning, on Rower Beach, cattle carcasses washed ashore.
What?
Half a dozen of them. Nobody has any idea where they came from. The people are saying the god Rango is demanding sacrifice.
David?
Who's she?
Actually, it's a funny story.
I don't blame her for what she did. Nobody should be forced to marry.
I couldn't agree more. Marriage can be a terrible mistake.
Only if you marry the wrong person.
But that's just it. How can you be so sure you've picked the right one? There's a lot of women out there.
Only one in here. So, what are you gonna do with her?
I saved her from Chief Fatu. She's not my responsibility anymore.
Does she have any money?
Didn't seem to.
Any friends or family here?
No.
Then we need to find her some work. What can she do?
Well, she polished the brasswork in my cabin till it glistened.
Did she not?
Perhaps you could put her up here for a couple of days.
No. This is no place for a young woman like her.
Maybe she'd do better aboard the Rattler.
Good idea. That way I'd have more space for Burgess and his crew in here. I could fit at least 2 of his men here.
Let's talk about this tomorrow.
So for disobeying the chief, she was sent away with David.
Yes.
These things do seem to happen to him, don't they?
I want to help her. I like her. And I know she'd be grateful for anything you could do.
To tell the truth, I was looking for someone to help me out around here.
Really?
I wouldn't be able to pay her much, and I don't have another room. But I might be able to fix up something for her.
That would be such a help to David. He feels responsible for her, though I know he'd never admit it.
Now, if I like her as much as you do, I'll see what I can do.
Adding shoplifting to your resume?
Depends. Will you personally lock me up?
I couldn't deny Morlaix the pleasure.
Well, I don't think you should deny yourself any pleasure. I see, I don't need to tell you that.
This is Tahura. She's a friend.
You say so?
She's looking for work.
Stand her outside Lavinia's bar. She'll have more than she can handle.
Decent work. I was wondering if you needed a housekeeper.
Can she speak?
Yes.
Well, that's a start. How long have you known David?
We only met a few days ago. He brought me here from Tonga.
Roger. How are you?
Aren't you going to introduce me to this beautiful woman, Mauriri?
Tahura Savu, Roger Addison. He's the new British consul.
Enchanted.
This isn't going to work.
I'm so sorry. My reading class with the children ran over, and then the German consulate wanted a word before he sailed to Australia. I had no idea it would take so long. Well,
Yes.
Why are you looking so happy? Did Morlaix lose a big poker hand?
No. Trent's taken Tahura on at the church. My babysitting days are over. How are the sales coming along?
Ready by morning. We should be able to leave for Fiji at first light.
Well, before we set sail, I want to make sure we avoid a repeat of this little adventure.
I know. Next time we find a stowaway, we feed her to the sharks. No questions asked.
How about fixing up the hold where Tahura hid?
Yep, I'll take care of it myself.
I've seen you watching me. If you tell me what I'm doing wrong, I swear I'll change. But please don't send me back.
No, your work is excellent.
I'm actually delighted that you're here. Was it that bad in Tonga?
My father is a traditional man who believes in the old customs. So when the chief said I must marry, he agreed. I tried calling on God.
My God?
He's my God, too. I'm a Christian. I studied at a British school.
I see.
But God failed me. Maybe he's punishing me for failing him.
What do you mean?
I want to be with a man for love, not duty. But that is not my family's wish. God must be angry with me for my disobedience. Do you think I disobeyed a commandment? Honor thy father.
No, I don't. And I don't think God is angry at you. If you'd married Chief Fatu, you would have betrayed your heart. God can't want that.
Thank you.
You looking for me?
I need to show you something.
Is the damage that bad?
The ship's fine. A few more boards, we'll be all set. What is it? Look what I came across when I was clearing out the hold.
Opium.
5 bricks worth. Seems we've become a smuggling ship.
Who could have put it there? It certainly wasn't Tahura. Maybe one of our crew?
Not our guys. It had to be somebody else who planned to come back for it when nobody was around.
Well, when could they have hidden it? We've been at sea for weeks.
It could have been stashed anywhere between the New Hebrides and here.
That's 6 ports. Maybe someone hid it in one of those ports, then telegraphed an agent here to remove it.
So what do we do about it? Turn it into Morlaix?
He'd probably sell it.
Somebody went to a great deal of trouble to put it here. We can't just ignore it.
But we can wait for someone to pick it up. Let's put the opium back where you found it. We'll bunk in the Rattler for a couple of nights.
You're saying he was attacked by Rongo?
Yeah.
Who was Rongo?
I know that boy. His name's Natu.
Looks like a shark attack.
No shark did that.
What would you know, Grief?
They say the island god Rongo is responsible.
The cattle he devoured aren't enough. He wants human sacrifice now.
What do you think?
I think no islander will ever come to this beach again.
Was Natu seeing anyone?
I don't know.
Ask around. See if you can find out.
Okay.
Jack, Lavinia said you were looking for me. You fixed the door.
I didn't want you to have any problems next time you came to visit. We didn't get off to a very good start, did we? To make it up to you, I was hoping that I could have you over for dinner tomorrow. I'll cook.
I'd like that.
Good. Tomorrow, then.
Okay.
I think that's enough work for one day.
I still have the rectory to clean, and your sheds need mending.
All of that can wait. I was wondering perhaps if you'd join me for lunch. It's beautiful out. I thought perhaps a picnic. Unless you'd rather not, and then I could arrange something else, which would be...
No. I'd love to go.
Good.
The girl's name is Celeste Ambrose. She and Natu had been seeing each other secretly for months.
Why secretly?
Celeste's father is wealthy and white. Natu is poor and Tahitian.
So Daddy wouldn't have approved.
Celeste works here for her father most afternoons. I'll look in the bag.
Lavinia,
Hello, Christian. How are you?
Well, business is booming, the family is healthy. I can't complain. It's good to see you both. So, what are you in the market for today?
Actually, this isn't a business call.
So, what can I do for you?
We were wondering, well, I was wondering actually, if I could speak to your daughter.
Well, what would you need to speak to Celeste about?
Oh, a minor thing, really, if we could just have a few moments alone with her.
What is this about?
A boy washed up on Roa Beach 2 nights ago.
And you think my daughter was involved?
Of course not. I only wondered if she might have been on the beach that night. If she perhaps saw anything.
Are you accusing my daughter of sneaking out of my house?
That certainly wasn't our intention.
Celeste was home in her own bed 2 nights ago, as she is every night. Now, I would thank you both to leave and not bother my family again.
I believe this belongs to you.
You have a gift with food. You should have been a chef.
I always wanted to be a missionary as far back as I can remember.
Did others in your family join the church?
No, I was the first. My father was a welder. He was very disappointed when I didn't follow in his footsteps.
You couldn't make yourself?
I tried. I wanted to please him. But I couldn't shake the feeling I was meant for something more. I thought the church would send me to China. Maybe Asia. I was ready to accept God's will wherever he wanted me. I hadn't expected this.
What do you mean?
I hadn't expected to love these islands as much as I do. There's an acceptance of the spiritual in every day that sometimes makes me question my own rigid beliefs. How can these people be heathens when their lives seem so sacred? I came to Tahiti on a mission to change the natives. But I think I'm the one who's changing.
But then you must not get many invitations if this is how you behave.
Wherever he was, he used a nice sharp knife. Looks like it was clean, too.
Well, I'll be sure to thank him if I run into him again.
You'll have a scar. But then I've always found a good scar fairly erotic.
What don't you find erotic?
I'll let you know if I come up with anything.
Next time, I'll take the watch on deck. You can take the slicing and dicing.
You told me to go home. Remember.
Since when did you start listening to me?
Did you get a look at him?
It was too dark.
I spoke to the soldiers patrolling the wharf.
Did they see him? If he didn't go ashore after he grabbed the opium, where did he go?
You've tidied up. It all looks nice.
Thanks.
You do too. What happened to your face?
Oh, the razor. I'm not used to it.
Oh.
Please, sit down. I've never had a woman here for dinner before.
It's delicious. Is that why you wrote me back? Because you were lonely?
I guess.
I was lonely. Then I met this amazing man who wrote me letters about life in paradise. And suddenly I felt like the life I was living was all wrong. And if I was just brave enough to join him, we could build an incredible life together. Why do they call you Cannibal Jack?
Oh, it's a silly thing.
Most nicknames come from somewhere. Why cannibal?
I came to the South Seas about 10 years ago. Crewed on a ship out of South America. We hit a very bad storm. Ran aground. A lot of men died. When rescue didn't come, those of us that were left alive began to starve. It was then that I discovered that a man will do almost anything to survive.
How many men did survive?
In the end, just me. 6 months later, a steamboat picked me up, brought me here. The people were very strange towards me in the beginning, but after a while they accepted the truth. But the name stuck.
I'm so sorry. I should never have asked.
It doesn't bother you, what I did?
It surprises me. But it doesn't bother me, no. You did what you had to do.
I may not be the man I described in my letters. But I'm not a bad man either.
What are you doing?
David.
Trent. How are you?
I just came from Natu's family. His mother is inconsolable. She can't believe their god Rongo would take a son. Have you any idea what happened?
I'm sure Celeste Ambrose knows something, but she's not saying anything.
Well, she obeys her father.
Right. In the meantime, her boyfriend's dead. Women. I'll never understand them.
I know what you mean. Particularly island women.
They're a different breed.
Exactly. They seem so at ease with themselves, so uninhibited. I mean, that's how Lavinia seems with you.
Lavinia? Yes. She's entirely her own person.
That's the wonderful thing about the women here. Their beauty isn't just external. I could understand how a man could find them desirable. Not to the extent of polygamy, of course. But there is something bewitching about them.
Yes, I guess Polynesia has its fair share of beautiful women, native or otherwise.
David, do you think at some point we can have
I'm
a small...
sorry, Trent. Can we talk later? I've got to meet Mauriri.
Of course, that's fine. I have places to go also. Dear Lord, is it a sin to desire this woman as I do? If you are indeed creator of all things, then surely passion must be included. So why do I feel so guilty? Perhaps this is a test. Perhaps she's a temptation I'm meant to avoid. How can you present me with a vision as pure and hypnotic as Tahura and not allow me to embrace
it? Colin Trent? In love?
Colin's a good man. He deserves to be happy.
So that's what he's been talking about. I wonder what his church will think about this. He was sent here to convert the islanders, not live with one.
David, love can be stronger than a sense of duty to one's church.
Hey, Money, where you going?
My father doesn't know I'm here. I need to tell you something, but you have to promise me you'll never tell him I talked to you. Natu and I were seeing each other behind my father's back. He couldn't come to my home, and there was too much risk of being seen by my father's business associates if we met in town.
So where did you meet?
On Roa Beach. We were always alone. That's why we met there. But that changed in the last few months. We watched a boat come ashore several times. Some men would meet it, take packages and leave.
What kind of boat?
A dinghy. We didn't think anything of it until the night we saw the men leave cattle carcasses on the beach.
You didn't report that?
How could I? And we weren't even supposed to be there. And I was scared. Then one night we heard the men rowing ashore again. Mauriri thought he could sneak up on them. He told me to stay behind and wait. But I got worried, so I crept down to the cove. Just as they finished beating him. He was dead. I didn't know what to do, so I just ran.
I'm sorry to ask, Celeste. Do you think you could remember all the nights you were at Roa Beach with Natu?
Night, Lavinia. Bye-bye.
Okay, she's on her way. Let's go. Come on.
I don't have any money. Please don't help me.
We weren't.
Much.
Let it be. I'll go find your own mark, buddy.
Why should I? I've got you.
Yeah!
Did they hurt you?
I just wanted to take a walk after work. I don't know what I'd have done if you hadn't come along.
It seems there are a lot of men here who want to scare you.
It's my fault, Jack.
No, it isn't. I want to apologize for the way I behaved at dinner the other night. I showed you no respect.
You're a good man, Jack. You are. It's just...
It's just you don't love me.
I'm so sorry.
It's just as well. A guy like me, never be happy with just one girl. Come on, let's go.
Am I disturbing you?
No, not at all.
I'm finished with all my chores. Was there anything else?
Oh, nothing that can't wait till tomorrow. Oh, would you like to come in?
Yes. You have some lovely things. Did you bring them all from England?
Mostly, yes. Except for the drawings. The children made those for me.
Who are they?
That's my parents on their wedding day.
She has a kind face, your mother. You look like her.
That was my grandfather's. My father gave that to me when I turned 18.
What's this?
I won that in a spelling competition when I was 6.
Do you remember the word that won you the title?
Beloved.
Beloved.
It's a beautiful day.
When I woke up, I was afraid last night was a dream.
It was for me.
Well, a lot of ships sail from Shanghai to here.
I'm only interested in the ones we subchartered to bring us the goods.
The Flying Fish, they brought us silk to take to America.
Sailed in on Thursday, the 18th. According to Celeste, a dinghy arrived on Roa Beach on the 20th.
The Invincible. We shaded them a shipment of vanilla for tea and rice.
The Invincible? The Invincible. Ah, yes, here it is. Arrived on the 12th. According to Celeste, the dinghy was sighted on the 14th.
The Fleur de Lis.
The Fleur de Lis? What did we trade with them for?
French champagne. Lavinia's birthday.
A bad trade. I had a headache for 2 weeks.
Well, nobody forced you to drink that case all by yourself.
Yeah. Arrived on the 5th. Celeste spotted a dinghy on the 7th. A dinghy pulled ashore on Roa Beach 2 days after the arrival of each of these ships.
Somebody's been piggybacking opium in our Shanghai cargo.
Then taken at night by dinghy to Roa Beach.
But I mean, who besides us? I mean, which of our customers knows all our subcharter schedules?
It could be anybody who transports legitimate cargo with ours. Only they're branching out. Let's check out Roa Beach tonight. You sure they're coming?
We got a shipment from Shanghai 2 days ago.
Late, yeah? Well, there are a lot of boats out there.
We're rapidly losing the elements of surprise here.
You ever hear of an American game called baseball?
Who's there? Who's there?
Leaving so soon?
Again with the knife. Drop it. We never really got a chance to talk before. What's your name?
Thomas.
Nice to meet you, Tom. You think they're running part of a larger operation?
They're amateurs. They're either too scared to talk or they just don't know anything else.
Yeah, but we know someone who might. Someone who piggybacks on our shipments a lot.
Isabel.
I told you I'm not involved in any opium smuggling ring.
But you know all our shipping schedules, don't you? And those men who were arrested, you've used them as crew before.
That's enough, Grief.
So have half the traders in the harbor. Why aren't you questioning them?
Because you're the one who's taking them on as partners. What kind of a split are you giving them?
I work alone, you know that.
Morley doesn't think so. He's looking forward to having you in chains again.
I haven't done anything.
Who are your connections in Shanghai?
Isabel doesn't know anything about Shanghai.
No, but you do, don't you? To run a smuggling ring, you'd need Chinese connections for the opium, access to the shipping schedules, and enough clout to keep underlings quiet. Isabel is persuasive, but she doesn't have that kind of power.
You'd also need a port to sell the opium from. Where's your next posting, Roger?
San Francisco.
It's a busy town. Lots of new money.
You stole the trading schedules from my desk, didn't you?
You can't prove any of this.
It was just a harmless little sideline.
I doubt Ngatu would agree.
I never meant for him to be killed. He shouldn't have been there. We brought the cattle carcasses in to scare people away. The couriers were inexperienced fools and they panicked. They were only protecting my business interests. I'm protected by diplomatic immunity.
See how immune you are to a broken neck.
You can't let him kill me!
People die in unexplained accidents all the time.
He's not worth it.
If I ever see you again, I swear I won't hesitate. Do we understand each other?
I know, I should have cut you in, but you can handle my end here. While I set up in San Francisco.
Get out of my sight before I break your neck myself.
Natu had his whole life ahead of him. Roger shouldn't get away with this.
The gods will see to Roger. I'm sure of it.
You okay?
Never better. Roger leaves for America tomorrow. It's not a moment too soon.
I should have killed him when I had the chance.
Next time I won't stop you. Then we can be sure he gets what's coming to him. Never should have let myself fall for him. I'm through with men, and to hell with love. We'd all have far fewer headaches without that.
I can think of one missionary who might disagree.
Call him Trent. Fool.